Good evening, brothers. Good evening, everyone in the chat. I hope we're all good and well besides the results. Um, all I will say is, before we get going, there is more chance of us all collectively as Spurs fans getting a sighting of the Loch Ness Monster than us seeing a home win.
Oh, so that means we don't beat Everton then. So we need to beat Chelsea.
Mate, look, it's 2 points. Thankfully, we're relying on Newcastle doing us a favour. And it could go down to the wire. And if it goes down to level on points, it will be goal difference our favour. But the massive advantage we could have had, the massive advantage of our nemesis getting the result, has now blown up in our face, unfortunately. And we went from the absolutely ridiculous to the sublime, back to the absolute ridiculous with Matisse Tell.
Yeah.
Thank God for the first one that Danso was there to get some kind of contact and head it out of the way. The finish is a wonderful finish. It's an incredible finish. But why he's gone for an overhead kick in the penalty area is absolutely batshit crazy.
Yeah, Jermaine Defoe just said, we were just listening to it afterwards, Jermaine Defoe just said, you know, when you're doing that anywhere on the pitch, you're out of control. And Jamie Carragher said you could see, and I don't know whether you've seen it back, but you see him look, and he could see the player was there. He still had time to change his mind, and he didn't. And he still went through it. And Iggy was talking about it today, all through the game. Composure and decision-making. And that's the two things that have let us down again and again and again.
He's just got to get his body across. All he has to do is just get his body across between man and ball. And then the player cannot go and get that ball unless he goes through you. And then you get the foul. But to still proceed and do an overhead kick in that situation, just totally uncalled for. And decision making again, like I always felt that we're going to get back. The only way that we'll score a goal is through our error. I said this at half time. That's the only way I feel. And lo and behold, it's come from an error from us. And it's just it's incredible. And then don't get me started over that penalty decision, because that penalty decision, you know, the VAR have called the referee over for all the incidents over the weekend, but tonight they decided to proceed. No, carry on. No need for the referee to come over to have a look at his decision. Don't get me wrong, he could have changed his mind or he could have confirmed his decision. But to not call him over, I thought, what's going on here? What are we doing here? But do you know what? It is what it is. There's no point crying over spilt milk, isn't it? I don't know. Everyone's heard my view, man. It's yours.
It was a stupid decision for Matisse Tell and a rush of blood to the head. But what I was saying, even just today on Tottenham on Tour, if you look at De Zerbi's previous games, forget the Sunderland goal, because obviously it was a deflection. Kinsky couldn't do anything. But the goals we conceded against Aston Villa, conceded against Aston Villa, and the goals we conceded against Brighton were 3 times we switched off. Where we just switched off our position or had a brain fart. And in the Premier League, especially when you're down at the bottom, you make these mistakes and you will pay for them. And it's what's happened today. I mean, the first half, don't get me wrong, it wasn't the greatest spectacle, but again after again we had opportunities and we just didn't take them. And you know what's going to happen if you do not take these chances. It's going to come back to bite you. And the most important thing to say, and this man deserves enormous credit, is Kinsky. The first half save is superb. The second one in the second half is match saving. Could be league saving or survival saving. And this guy deserves enormous amount of credit from the way he has come back since that Atletico Madrid game. 2 superb saves. But again, we didn't take our opportunities in the first half. We had our chance, and even when you saw 13 minutes, you thought, okay, surely now it'll be non-stop pressure our way. And we huffed and we puffed and we get it into positions, and we just can't finish it. We just can't finish it. Our home form is atrocious. I wish we had 2 away games and 1 home game as opposed to 2, or now it's 1 and 1. But going into this, if I could have had Leeds away or Everton away, I would have taken it and have one of them at home, because our home form is just, you can't explain it. It's just out of control. And again, we've let ourselves down.
Yeah, look,
unbeaten in 4. It's the only positive.
Unbeaten in 4.
We lost the game in 4 games.
We aren't winning 5 out of 5, are we, Roberto? Look, for me, I think we lost a bit of shape. You could see that Ampadu for them was outstanding. He controlled that midfield. He was everywhere. Everywhere you looked, he was there, picking up the ball, driving ball. And I think we lost that when Bentancur went off. We lost that bit of composure in that midfield. But you're right, Anton Kinsky. Look, that for me, I think that is save of the season. Regardless of what happens after that, I don't think I've seen a better save. Reflex save all season for him. And like you said, we said it earlier. We were here, me and Iggy, when we saw that disaster in Madrid, and for him to come back and do that, I'm sorry, I don't care if Vicario's ready for Chelsea. Kinsky deserves to play the rest for the final 2 games of the season.
With Tudor, look, he was done after that game. With Tudor still here, he would have been done and dusted.
Yeah.
Forget, you wouldn't have seen him again. But that's what happens when a new manager, you get a new lease life, and he's got that. It's obviously giving him a lot of confidence.
One thing you've got to look at as well is that Kinsky performance in Madrid. We have seen that break and shatter the confidence of seasoned professionals. Yeah. Seasoned professionals have had performances like that and never fully recovered, i.e. a Maicon against Bale. Yeah. Never recovered from that. But for him to come back and show the mental strength, the courage, the self-belief, the confidence, and the correct attitude to show that, if half the outfield players had that kind of mental attributes, we wouldn't be in this problem. We wouldn't be in this problem. The way he has come back has been absolutely exemplary. He couldn't do anything with the goals he's conceded, none of them. And like we said, the save against Wolves and the 2 that he's made here could be worth their weight in our Premier League survival money that comes in. It's that serious. And today, again, that man deserves nothing but credit, praise, adulation, and everything that goes along with it.
Brian, how do you see the next 2 games going? Chelsea away, Everton at home.
Chelsea away, look, this will be the 34th time we go there in the Premier League. We've won once.
Not very helpful.
Chelsea have been woeful this season, as we know. But we've been there before when we've had the much better team. I've been in much better form and can't get it done. I'm hoping and praying for a draw, like you would never believe. If someone said to me, you get a draw at Stamford Bridge right now, I would break your arm, leg, ribs, whatever it takes to get that draw.
Yeah, we get a draw at Newcastle, win at West Ham, win at home against West Ham.
Then if that happens, put it this way, if we draw that game, and let's just say West Ham win, it's all level going into the final game. But we've got the bigger goal difference. I don't trust us at home. If it goes into the game level, I really fear for us, because I think the pressure, whatever. If Newcastle could do a job for us, and then we get the point.
Yeah.
Let's just say a point at Stamford Bridge. Then I think we're safe. Then I think, because they would have to get such a goal swing against Leeds.
That's not going to happen, Brian. But I think after tonight, I didn't want it coming down to the last game. I don't want it coming down to the last game. if it comes down to the last game, it got nervous in that stadium very, very quickly. It got very quiet. I don't think Leeds have anything to play for in that final game. They know they're safe.
They have nothing to play for tonight, brother.
Well, yes and no. Yeah, I get it, but they needed that point to be. You know, I know what you're saying about.
We kind of did it for them, didn't we? We did it for them.
Yeah.
Up until that penalty, really. How Kinsky had one save to make from Roda and said that. Up until that point, I'm talking about. Once they got the goal and they felt the energy of the team that they were playing in front of them, and they felt the energy of the stadium, so they knew the Spurs were nervous. So therefore, you know what? Let's try and nick it. Let's try and get a win.
Can you imagine?
They get the win and they're completely safe.
Can you imagine if West Ham had actually got a draw yesterday?
What I think I will say is after Villa, a lot of fans, and rightfully so, if they want to be positive, whatever way you want to look at it, thought we were safe after the Villa performance. Thought, right, that's it. It's a slam dunk. We're done. We're going to get through it. I came on after the Villa game and said I'm still not extremely confident that we don't get the drop. Yeah. And right now, it's up in the air because of we had the opportunity today. Yeah. If we'd got the win, I would have said 4 points, it's done. It's done. I would have been supremely confident that West Ham aren't going to get 2 wins and we're not going to lose both games. I would have been supremely confident. But unfortunately now, it is back in the hands of the gods.
Yeah.
The advantage we had, look, it's 2 points now, not 1 point. Could that be a telltale advantage? We'll soon know. Have Chelsea been that bad that Tottenham actually go there and get the win at Stamford Bridge? Who knows? I mean, if West Ham lose, we had the Battle of the Bridge that we lost the title. How about we go there and have the Battle of the Bridge and stop relegation?
Yeah, but you know what this is all pointing to. We were sitting there weeks ago saying we could get relegated at Chelsea. They're going to want to put a massive nail in that coffin, aren't they?
Oh, they will, but hopefully they'll get battered by City in the FA Cup and be or is it bad for us that they win it and go get drunk? Who goddamn knows? But the one thing I will say before I let you get the other guests on is how we didn't get a penalty for the Maddison thing. I honestly, yes, Maddison didn't really get a touch on the ball when it was but there is an absolute on the replay. The guy got Maddison, not the ball. That is a penalty. That is a penalty to me. Just as much as it was Stonewall for Leeds, Stonewall, and anyone that thought it wasn't, in my opinion, is totally and utterly wrong. That was a penalty for us. For me, it was Stonewall, but it is what it is. And now we just have to hope and pray that we have enough about us to get the job done.
Yeah, same here, Brian.
Same here, Brian, but it keeps going. We keep going, don't we?
Listen, I don't know what more I can say on the penalty. I've said it enough times tonight. How the referee wasn't called over to go and review it on the monitor is beyond me. Given that he's been called to review on the monitor all weekend, they've been called over to review and I wouldn't have minded either way if he had made the decision, confirmed his decision or changed it, and then communicated to the fans around the stadium what he did and what he saw. But that wasn't to be. It's a mystery.
And like I said, now Tottenham have to completely stand up, go and put an away performance like we did at Villa. Yes, Villa had a weakened side, but go to Stamford Bridge with that belief, that desire, that hunger, that passion to get the job done at all costs.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree.
We do.
Let's see how it goes, man.
Exactly. Well, so I'll let you guys get on with the show. Hope everyone in the chat, minus the result, has had a good evening and a good rest of the week.
Yeah.
We got 8 days to prepare for the Battle of the Bridge Mark II, which let's hope we turn up like we did there. And love you two guys. Big up to Sammy in the chat. Help Tottenham. We Are Tottenham TV get to 200,000. They're less than 1,000 away. Get the mothership to the milestone.
Have a party
That's
then.
all that matters. That's all that matters. Yeah, maybe there will be a 200k party. Who knows?
All I'm going to say is Chelsea haven't won in, well, it's more than 6, but the last 6, lost 5, drawn 1. Dr. Tottenham is waiting for you.
Let's try.
Tottenham's like, hold my beer.
Oh, my beer,
Let's keep the Dr. Top, mate. Someone said to me earlier today, fun stat, Spurs have only won 2 at home, Leeds have only won 2 away. And I was like, oh, why have you said that? I was like, why have you said this to me before the game?
Anyway, it's Ryan's fault because he put that bet on as well.
Mate, Ryan Isaacs is in big fucking trouble with me. big trouble with me, as you guys know. But like I said, I'll let you all go and get on with the rest of the show.
Brian.
Big up to everyone in the chat. And as always, Enoch out.